Today we will be continue solving two-step equations, and we will be using reciprocals. With that thought in mind, we have to remember what reciprocals stand for. Two numbers whose product is 1, and we also want to remember product means multiply. We're going to do a quick review of finding the reciprocal for 4 fractions. The first fraction is 5/9. The reciprocal of 5/9 is 9/5. We can check this to make sure we are correct by using our definition of reciprocals. So I'll take my original fraction of 9/5, times it by the reciprocal of 9/5, cancel the 9, cancel the 5s. We end up with 1 times 1. 1 times 1 is 1. That checks. Number 2, our reciprocal here would be -5/3 or 5 over -3. I prefer the top one with the negative in the numerator. Number 3, -13, I'm going to rewrite as a fraction. I'm going to place it over 1. It's easier to find the reciprocal then. So I have -1 over 13 or 1 over -13. Again, my preferred one is -1 over 13. Number 4, we have some problems because it is not a fraction, it is a mixed number. So we have to turn it into an improper fraction by multiplying the denominator by the whole number and then adding 1. So I get the improper fraction of 9/4. Our final reciprocal for that would be 4/9. With that idea of reciprocals and what we've learned previously, we'll begin solving and checking the next 6 problems today. Number 1, when I look at this, I have a fraction 3/2x plus 5 equals 11. I will first subtract 5 from both sides, leaving me with 3/2x, which is equal to 6. I want to eliminate the fraction, so I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal of 2/3. On the right-hand side, I'm going to create 6 into a fraction to help us. On the left, I'm going to cancel the 2's. I'm going to cancel the 3's, leaving me with x equals. On the right-hand side, the 3 cancels to a 1. The 6 cancels to a 2, so I have 2 times 2. X equals 4. For me to check this, I will take 3/2 times 4 plus 5 is equal to 11. Again, I'll make that 4 as 4 over 1. The 2 and the 4 cancels, so I have 3 times 2, which is 6, plus 5 equals 11. 11 equals 11. It checks. Continuing on to number 2, I will add 2 to both sides. When I add 2 to both sides, I end up on the right-hand side having 8. On the left-hand side, I'll have -2 over 5x. In order to eliminate that fraction, I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. When I multiply the reciprocal on the left-hand side, the 2's cancel, I'm left with a -1. The 5's cancel, I'm left with a -1. A -1 times a -1 is a positive, so I'm left with x. On the right-hand side again, I'll make 8 into a fraction, canceling the 2 and the 8. On the 8, we'll end up with a 4, so I have 4 times -5. X equals -20. The check will be -2/5 times -20 minus 2 equals 6. I know a negative times a negative turns positive, so I change those signs. 20 divided by 5 is 4, so 2 times 4 is 8 minus 2 equals 6. 6 equals 6, and it checks. Moving on to problem number 3, I'll subtract 6 from both sides. When I subtract 6 from both sides, I'll end up with 3/2 x is equal to 6. I want to eliminate that fraction of 3 halves, so I'll multiply by 2/3 and then multiply by 2/3 on the right. On the left, the 2's cancel, the 3's cancel, so I'm left with x equals. The 6 becomes 6 over 1 times 2/3. The 3 cancels to 1, the 6 becomes a 2. I end up with 2 times 2, x equals 4. The check on this, 3 halves times 4 plus 6 equals 12. Again, I'll change that 4 to 4 over 1. The 2 becomes a 1, the 4 becomes a 2. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 6 equals 12. 12 equals 12. It checks. Moving on to number 4. I will start by adding 3 to both sides. And I'll have negative 2/5 x is equal to 14. I want to eliminate that fraction, so I'll multiply by the reciprocal of 5 over negative 2, 5 over negative 2. You'll see the 2 problems ago I put the negative in the numerator. This problem I put the negative in the denominator to show you can do it either way. The 2 negatives cancel, the 2's cancel, the 5's cancel. I'm left with x equals. Over on the right hand side, 14 is 14 over 1. The negative stays this time, so I have a negative 1. This 14 changes to a 7. So now I have 7 times 5 divided by negative 1, which gives me negative 35. If I check this, I have negative 2/5 times negative 35 minus 3 equals 11. 2 negatives multiplied together gives me a positive, so I change my sign. I cancel the 5 and the 35, so I'm left with 7. 2 times 7 is 14 minus 3 equals 11. 11 equals 11. Moving on to problem 5. When we look at problem 5, we add 11 to both sides. I end up with 3 halves x is equal to 21. I want to eliminate that fraction of 3 halves, so I multiply by 2/3 on both sides. On the right hand side, the 2's cancel, the 3's cancel, I'm left with x. On the right here, 21 over 1. The 3 cancels to 1, the 21 changes to a 7. 7 times 2 is 14, and I'll check that. 3 halves x minus 11 equals 10. I'm replacing that x with 14, so I have 3 halves times 14 minus 11 equals 10. The 2 and the 14 cancel. I'm left with a 1 here and a 7 here. 3 times 7 is 21 minus 11 equals 10. 10 equals 10, and it checks. Our 6th problem, which is our last, I will be subtracting 2 from both sides. When I subtract 2 from both sides, you'll notice that I have 4h over 3 is equal to 16. Again, I'll eliminate my reciprocal, and I multiply by 3/4. Notice the h does not get canceled, so I'm not putting that in my fraction. On the right hand side, I multiply by 3/4 also. The 3's cancel on the left, the 4's cancel, I'm left with h. On the right, 16 is 16 over 1. I cancel the 4, it becomes 1. 16 becomes 4. 4 times 3 is 12. I check this. 4 times 12 over 3 plus 2 equals 18. I cancel the 3 and the 12. So now I have 4 times 4, which is 16 plus 2 equals 18. 18 equals 18, and it checks. That is the end of your notes. Thank you.